We are team Cats Cubed. And we are going to do our project. Tentatively, we're calling it Iggy and Nigo. It's a cooperative cat dream game starring two cats, Iggy and Nigo, who are not also one cat.
So, for those of you that have cats at home, have you ever looked at them when they're sleeping and wondered what's going on in their minds? So, I think we finally figured it out. And that's the premise of our game. That we're trying to really break down what goes on in a cat's mind while it's dreaming. And I'll give it off to
So, Sigmund Freud had an idea that our psychology is in multiple layers. I think cats are too. Every cat is more than one cat. If you've ever encountered a cat who goes from peacefully sitting on the floor to darting into a room angrily with bug-eyed chasing nothing, I think that's because they're two cats. And in the dreamscape, they are two cats. There is the cat who's playful, kitteny, and knocks over things, moves things around, and watches them carefully. And a cat that's aggressive and wild, the id of the cat, and the other being the ego. So, Nigo and Iggy. In the game, there will be two cats that you can switch between, different kinds of cats. One cat that's aggressive, and the other cat that's kind of a logical cat.
So, speaking of switching cats, this is our sort of death stress system. So, cats, they have nightmares like us. If you see them wriggling about and whatnot. So, when you have a nightmare, sometimes there might be something that causes you to wake up. So, we have cat beds that act as checkpoints within a level. And so, if a cat experiences too much stress, then they return to that cat bed. We're talking about switching cats. At every cat bed, they can swap. Either you return to the bed manually, or you respawn at that cat bed and you can swap cats again.
So kind of the basic outline of the game is you'll enter a level as one of the cats. Generally, your goal is to use the kind of logical cat to manipulate the terrain of a 2D environment such that the aggressive cat can successfully get to the next checkpoint. And then generally you kind of repeat that. You're trying to determine how to manipulate the terrain such that the aggressive cat can maneuver, because the logical cat is defenseless. That's the basic premise of how the gameplay will work. It's going to be a lot of puzzling through how to manipulate the environment to navigate it. And toward the end of it, if you win the dream, you arrive at the cat tower, and it's where all cats want to go at the end of the day. And that is the premise of the game, I think.
Yes, can you guys introduce yourself as your name and your role in your team?
Sure. I am Kaloe Roloff. I'm the team lead, I suppose. I've been working in developing and engineering mostly, as well as the time management, I guess.
My name is Michael. I work on developing, designing, engineering, and music.
My name is Mohamed Farah. I'm responsible for the development side of things as well.
Oh.
Three of us. Yes.
Okay.
We have other members who are not involved. Yeah. I'll let you go.
Any questions?
Yeah. Are there any questions? Not really.
Yeah.
So the intellectual cat, what is it supposed to do?
He can manipulate the terrain,
Okay.
move around things, and kind of push things as opposed to fight things.
Okay.
The other cat will just swipe at things as he comes close to it. Yes.
You said it was a cooperative game, so would it be like one player playing as two cats at a time, or would it be like one person controlling two cats?
So it's designed to be both done either single player or cooperatively. If it's cooperatively, then each of you controls one of the cats. Whoever arrives at the next cat bed decides what cat it will play, and the screen will follow that cat. Otherwise, if you're playing alone, you just switch between them at cat beds. There's kind of a dominant cat who the screen will follow. If the non-dominant cat gets too far away, it'll kind of teleport back to the dominant one. That's the one that is effectively player one, but with this other person, the other cat. I don't know, following it, obeying it a little bit. Does that make sense? Yes.
So the cat that you play as is going to like manipulate the terrain? Is that by like knocking things over like the cat does?
Yes.
Or is it like relative basis like the picture show?
Well, that wasn't, the picture was more meant to represent it's not real world physics. Things like a floating chair is not going to be impossible. It's more like a jumbled up world of a cat's imagination. It'd probably be a very strange place. It's primarily going to be the cat moving things along the ground as what the logical cat can do, and dropping things off of ledges. The aggressive cat is kind of a little faster and just swipes at things when he gets close to them. He's not going to have the ability to manipulate those kind of objects.
So it's like a puzzle adventure game, 2D. And what will be the adversarial force? It'll be the time limit, or will there be something that hinders you from doing the? Mm-hmm.
There are going to be, I guess, enemy equivalents in the game that are more designed for the swipey cat to deal with because the other cat's defenseless.
There's no time.
There is no time limit. We're not building it around a time limit.
Okay.
We feel for this sort of game that we're going for, a time limit would be a bit annoying to deal with, so we want it to be more fun.
Not necessarily. We'll talk. We'll visit that in our in the team meeting. But well, thank you so much. Anybody else? Guess that's it. Huh? Okay. Thank you.